Hi, welcome to today's video diary for finding my way with Pi, purpose, intention, and emotion. Today I'm thinking about perspective. I'm thinking about how powerful our own thoughts are in resounding ways in our lives, in our mental state, and the reality that we find ourselves in the choices that we make, even in the choices that we see that are available to us. Thoughts are crazy powerful. And the kicker is, I think sometimes we're not always aware of our thoughts. It's almost like sometimes they're so subconscious that they're like wearing contact lenses. You don't even know that they're on your eyes, changing the way you see the world. It's more and more clear to me, particularly having gone through the experience of burnout and leaving my corporate job and pursuing what I love and unearthing all of the hidden hurts to heal and then live a mindful, conscious, purposeful, intentional life that's in alignment with me. So the authentic life. I didn't even know I had some of these perspectives until I dug them up. But here's just a few examples of what I mean. Have you ever heard of the term synchronicity or experienced synchronicity? So the way I experience synchronicity is this, what feels like almost divine timing of certain things, people who cross your path, opportunities or answers to questions you've been seeking, things that are like serendipitous in how they happen and unfold that are like, wow, this is amazing that it's happening this way. It's like all the stars and the planets aligned. That's what I mean by synchronicity. And I have been experiencing this at a high level. Like I experience this daily lately. And I'm reflecting on that. Like, that's amazing. I went for years without experiencing synchronicity. In fact, I went for years in this state of existential meaninglessness, just suffering day to day, feeling I was living a soul death and just going through the motions and becoming less accessible to myself and less accessible to my family and my friends and my community. Now, I know that sounds extreme. I don't believe others necessarily viewed me that way unless they were so close to me that they were holding my hand as I cried. But it was that extreme inside. It hurt a lot and it was a struggle. Now, my focus is shifted onto doing work I love, protecting and keeping routines around my personal boundaries, which include making memories with friends and loved ones and taking care of myself and, things that are important to me, my personal values, not what anyone else tells me should be important to me, but my own. Finding adventure in the everyday, being spontaneous, these are mine. And I'm now focused on doing work and things that give me energy so that I can then radiate that outward. And after I was going to say disciplined effort, meaning mindful effort, writing in gratitude journals, doing accomplishment appreciation where I record what I did, what I did that day that I feel good about, writing poetry, taking walks with friends and making sure I'm connecting with friends regularly, doing things like I am now learning all of the elements of whole person well-being academically through a master's program. And now I've got my sights set on my PhD. I'm doing these things that are cultivating the thoughts in my head to be focused on those things that are most alignment with who I am, that are most in alignment with who I am. I had to say it again. I'm going to say it one more time. I am putting forth disciplined effort and mindful effort to focus most on the things that are aligned with who I am. And then synchronicity blossoms. And things click, and things work, and things begin to unfold. And suddenly I'm okay to take risks, and I'm okay to dream, and I'm okay to try. My well is full. And now, from here, I am confident that I can go out and help others learn how to fill their wells and spread goodness from there. What type of experience do you think my kids are going to have when they come home to a mother whose well is full versus coming home to a mother who's a shell of herself and putting a smile on her face even though she feels a little like she's dying inside? They can tell the difference. So can I. So all of that effort has shifted my focus. It has shifted my perspective. I'm beginning to see and pick up on everything that's around me. And here's the thing. Some of these things have been there, some of them for years. They're always there. I just couldn't see them. I could not perceive them because my thoughts were defining my reality. Your perception is important. What is your perception? Is it a story that you're telling yourself? Is it really true? How might you change it? What's one tiny thing you could begin to focus on that could change it? For example, each night, write down one thing you did that day that you loved. Just one. Each night. Do that for 3 months. Watch what happens. Transformative. Doesn't take much. Over time, the actions add up. The seeds are planted, and you can nurture them and grow it into something beautiful and become more of who you are. And synchronicity will begin to happen to you too. It's incredible. Perspective is so important. Now, here's the thing that I keep asking myself. Could I have changed my perspective from where I was? Could I have changed my perspective sitting in that role, doing work that felt soulless, not having a voice? Well, I'll tell you what my perspective was while I was sitting there. It was always only on how terrible I felt, and that grew and grew and grew. And I had tried before to focus it on, positive things. But that was toxic because it was not backed up by action. It was just me trying to will it to be by positive thinking. Sometimes we have to make a choice to change something in our lives, and we may be very afraid to do that. It will cause ripples. There's this song where the lyrics are, the hardest part of ending is starting again, and I think that's one of the things I was afraid of. And it does impact others, and we don't ever do things alone. I think that changing landscape. Sometimes, at least for me, it was necessary in my situation because it allowed me to slowly change my perspective. But I am curious if there might be another way to do that that wouldn't have been so, I don't know, disruptive. But I'm grateful for it now. I'm grateful for it now. I see now a power of perspective, and it's important in the decisions that you make in your life. It certainly impacts mine. Anyways, those are my thoughts for today. Just wanted to examine it. Man, I keep coming back to pondering this. Would any of this have helped while I was in that role? And you know what? Like, I was doing a lot of these things while I was in that role, and it wasn't helping because I wasn't admitting to myself that that role was no longer for me. And I guess that's where the honesty comes in and perspective change that's truly backed by authentic action. So, lots to ponder. Perspective. Thanks for being with me on this journey. I'm so glad that you're here, and I hope it helps you too. I'll see you tomorrow.